Happy Paul Bunyan Day.
It is today.
It is Paul Bunyan Day.
birthday.
Yeah. See,
Yes.
I remember. Well, I actually remember thanks to the tweet from Paul Bunyan that I saw today. But when you think of Paul Bunyan, who's the face of Paul Bunyan? It's Gary Johnson. And Gary, this is something as I mentioned, I wanted to do with your predecessor. It's the exit interview. But I wanted to do this with Paul, but he kind of retired under the radar. But you announced your retirement, and I don't know when we'll be publishing this, if it'll be at your retirement or near it or whenever. But well, first I want to congratulate you on a great career. But you're too young. You're like 25, right? What's going on here?
Sure.
Tell us.
Yeah, let's go with that. I'm 25. I've worked at Paul Bunyan. I will by the time I retire 36 years. So that math's tough to
Tough.
But I just blessed to have had the career I have had. I still am at my first job out of college. First company I've worked for is going to turn out to be the only company I work for until I retired. Although, you think about our industry and our types of companies, we have, we're one of many just great NTCA members and MTA members that are all doing, I think, great stuff. But wow, how fortunate to see the evolution of our company. I was employee number 23, and we had probably 6,000 members, I suppose, something like that. And I was the new guy for like 5 years because, we weren't growing, it wasn't changing. But yet, even then, and you go back and see it's been 71 years since we were formed. We were formed just for the one reason that the large companies wouldn't serve these hard to reach rural areas, right? And at that point, it was for landline telephone service, but for critical communication service, they wouldn't do it. So they had to band together. And what's I've just loved about working at a co-op is that for 71 years now, the mission hasn't changed a bit. As much as people and technology and the world we're in, everything has changed drastically. I mean, you can't recognize our company from the outside, or you're looking at what we're doing, our team of highly technical people and all of this. We don't look like the same company, but the mission at our core is exactly the same. We're still trying to get very critical communication services, now broadband, out to these areas where others won't do it. Yeah. So I think it's amazing, especially in the world of technology that changes so much. And companies come and go, and startups are the hot thing and they're gone. And in this environment we're right in the midst of, to have a company, and there are many examples of us that could be there 71 years and still on the spot on same mission. Yeah. I don't know, that makes you sleep pretty good at night. Feel really good about the why we do it. That's been fun. It's been fun to see. Now we have 160 employees. To see them, young at all different ages, and to see how they start to understand our mission and adopt that pride in what we're doing. That's very rewarding to see it happen.
And from a growth perspective, you've grown to 160 employees, but you've grown subscribers proportionally a lot more, right?
Yeah, it's been fun. And you think about who we're serving. We're not going to a city and knocking out a bunch of, the highly dense area, the very lucrative. Yeah. We're not doing that. We're going to the hardest spots, right? Yeah. We're going to the areas that others won't, as we said. So, yeah, we've grown. We have about 35,000 members now. And
area-wise, it's a lot larger too, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't know our original footprint when I started, but we're now more than 6,000 square miles of north central Minnesota. So I mean, it's we've probably tripled or quadrupled in size, geographic size. But you think about who it is in those areas. I mean, those are inch by inch. We have built fiber to every one of those doorsteps, right? It's not like we acquired a bunch of companies or did some other easy path. We did the hard but very sustainable work of building fiber underground to every one of those locations, inch by inch. I mean, it feels like sometimes, right? Yeah. And now when we got in this mode of growing, adding several thousand new members a year, you forget that somebody's out there digging and trenching a cable, literally inch by inch, underground to get there. And then it's there for decades, right? So I love the model. It's not the easiest one, but it's definitely the one with the most long-term view and sustainable, and the most to be proud of, I think.
Well, and I would say you're going out on top in many ways. You are going out on top. It's well positioned, but there's growth ahead, right?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you think about we've gotten this mode of, I mean, our CLEC, so the areas we've expanded to is now far bigger than the ILEC company I started with, right? So we're in this growth mode. We have to do our own engineering. We do a lot of our own construction. So we're built to grow and built to expand. And yet you look at how we've been taking advantage of state and federal programs. They pale in comparison and scale of BEAD that's about to come out the door. So yes, the amount of opportunity, and you think of programs like that, it's thankfully a lot of recognition of the importance of rural broadband, and now a lot of dollars funneled in a bipartisan way to say, yes, this is important. We got to do this, right? That's how you arrive at $42.5 billion for the BEAD program. But what is it for? It's to get to those last areas that are hardest to serve now, right? And rightly so. That's exactly what it should be for. That's what we've been doing. So it's like, wow, it's playing right into our mission, our abilities. We're built to grow. It's just like, here's our time. So to your point, as much as we've been doing this and rolling, more is to come. I mean, the biggest wave of that's yet to come. So it'll be exciting.
Well, Gary, and I wish you well in your retirement, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from you and seeing you. But I guess this may be it for as Paul Bunyan.
Well, I hope not. But we'll see.
Well, no, but as Paul Bunyan, you'll be. We'll definitely see you afterwards.
Probably won't be on Paul Bunyan's birthday again.
Yeah, that's
next time.
I know that was an amazing.
Good point.
So,
good point. Well, thank you,
Gary,
Ken.
thanks.
It's been a pleasure to talk with you over the decade. Have you kind of track companies like ours and know us so intimately and just know our story and tell it very well. So thank you for all you do.
Yeah, thank you.